am a poor wayfaring stranger while traveling through this world of woe. Yet there's no sickness, toil, no danger in that bright land.
Worth of chips.
What chips?
I wanna let go like rain, fall free in your hand, flow like the river across the barren land, wash clean alive, stained with pain. I wanna let go like the rain. I've been holding on to the past, no it ain't coming back, hanging on to dreams that long been dead. Try to shake it loose, walk away and run and never look back. That's it, I'm finished, I said. Time ticks away like a heartbeat each day, and nobody cares. You're moving along to the same old song with blank empty stare. I can't go back. Time's gone forever. Lost in the past, out of my grasp. Life has been changed. There was a moment in time I would rewind, do it again, but I changed the end. My life changed down and down. That moment in
Good afternoon, Mr. House.
Afternoon.
Can I get you something? Coffee?
Coffee would be fine, thank you.
What brings you down to Abersboro?
Just making the rounds. Had to get off the old plank road. That road is tough on a man my age. That's one of the things on my list when I get to Raleigh. Get that road repaired.
You know, it's about odd that you be out here today. We've got a second newspaper man here. John McLean Harrington. McHale for short.
John McLean Harrington, McHale for short. Glad to meet you, Mr. Hale.
Mr. McLean, nice to meet you. What newspaper?
Well, it's called the Young American. I write it myself. My family and I are farmers, and we operate the post office, and we handwrite that newspaper along with the Nation. Comes out once a month, 100 copies, all by hand.
Mr. McLean, I appreciate your effort, but this doesn't look like a real newspaper to me. It looks more like a letter you'd send to your cousin.
Well, you got to do what you got to do when you don't have a printed newspaper coming out to Harnett County. And our residents want information about Harnett County, so they get it here with the Young American.
Well, that's a tough task ahead of you, Mr. McLean, because there's not a whole lot of news in Harnett County.
True, that's very true. We have to depend on the Southern press to get most of our information.
What do you mean depend on the Southern press? Are you lifting news out of my newspaper?
Not only your newspaper, but a lot of newspapers. The Southern press provides most of our information, to be frank.
Are you at least giving me some credit?
Well, we give you as much credit as you give other newspapers like the Richmond Examiner credit. I have a question for you. Now that you know about the Young American, will you at least recognize there's another newspaper in town in Harnett County?
Well, I'll give it some consideration, and I will give you some credit. I do see you have some real news in here about the Leviathan ship a couple of months ago and all that blasphemy against Great Britain. That was world news. I'm glad to see you recorded it.
We got it from the faithful paper, and thank you that you recognized it. It's important to our readers. The Leviathan, it's an Old Testament reference in Job. We feel that ship is cursed, and we feel that we're in a time where some bad things are happening. So we're going to monitor that, and we'll keep publishing that story.
Well, again, Mr. McLean, I admire your efforts, but you remember it was that old wise sage, Oscar Wilde. He said the difference between journalism and literature. Journalism is unreadable, literature is not read. You can't win either way.
That's true. Don't forget old Tom Jefferson. He said, a free democracy depends on a free newspaper. Free and vigorous newspaper.
You do know your history, Mr. McLean, I'll give you that. And it was Tom Jefferson who also said, if given a choice between government without newspapers or newspapers without government, I would choose the latter.
Well, we can both agree on that. It was my pleasure meeting you, sir.
My pleasure meeting you, Mr. McLean, and if you allow me, I'll hang on to this and give it a good read.
Thank you very much. Best of you. Have a good, safe trip.
Thank you.
He's a good chat.
Sun rises high up in the sky, like everything's okay. But you never know how the day's gonna go and the cost you might pay. But I can't go